Shalom, shalom, shalom. All praises to the Most High. Yah. This is the day that Yah has made. I will rejoice and be glad in it. It is a beautiful, beautiful day, and I am sitting outside. But I wanted to do a quick video on flood preparations. And, right now they are in Florida preparing for a storm, which I know everyone has heard. It's a major storm, hurricane, category 5. The last I heard, it was moving at a speed of 160 miles per hour, which is dangerous. I experienced Hurricane Andrew, and that has left an indelible print on my mind. That was one of the most frightening experiences I've ever had. So living in the Bahamas, we know about having storms, especially if you're on the family island. And the day reminds me of the day when Hurricane Andrew came through. It was a beautiful day, just like breeze, just like this. Sun. I'd spend the night by my friends, and when I got home, my mother was upset because she was packing up stuff, and she said, "You just coming home, the storm coming." And I'm looking at the weather and say, "Storm?" But they call it a peace before the storm. Beautiful day, just like the day. I didn't go to work today because yesterday when I went out, it was raining, and after I really got a good idea of what was going on, I did go to the office, and you would see on the thumbnail, at least I'm going to try and put it there, a photo of the water I had to pass through to get to my office. And I was like, this is serious. Now we know about flooding here, especially on New Providence. I think the first time I experienced flooding where there's water in the road was when I moved to New Providence, because on the island we seldom got that. Even though New Providence don't feel the brunt of a storm or hurricane. On the island you normally feel it. You feel the hurricane. I'm sitting outside so you would hear vehicles passing, but it's a beautiful day and I'm home and I wanted to be outside. So this day reminds me of that day when the storm came through, and it was a deadly storm because persons lost their lives. And this one, I saw on YouTube where a newscaster, someone shared a video of a newscaster when he was speaking about it, and given the numbers on it, he started to cry because they have never seen anything like this. And I saw the computer picture of it, and I'm like, child, that look like a monster, but our hearts and our thoughts are with the persons in Florida, and we're in the Bahamas. We're very close to Florida, which is why yesterday I believe we experienced that weather. And even now we are preparing for this, a tropical storm watch. The schools are closed today, and I didn't go into work today. I went in and I got some work, and I did the work this morning, which is why I'm just doing this video, because I want to get that out of the way. And now sit outside and make this video. I also did some laundry because growing up on the island, whenever storm is coming, one of the things that we do to prepare is that we wash. Nobody wants to have dirty clothes in their house or anything dirty, because you don't know what's going to happen, and maybe you'll get damaged, and it just makes it worse if you have a pile of dirty clothes. So normally on the day of the storm, and where it's always peaceful and there's sunlight, people wash all the stuff in their dirty clothes now. So I wash my towels and put them on the line in this breeze. And yesterday I went out in the rain and I got my water, and like I said, I went to the office to get some work, and I got some bread and some fruits. I went out to get fruits because I have stuff here, but I wanted some fruits. I told my friend there's no fruit here, so I went out to get some fruits and some fresh vegetables. And while I was out, I saw, when I went for the water, there was a line. I said, oh boy, something is happening. And then when I went to the grocery store, people were picking up a lot of different stuff, But I want to talk to you about preparation for flood. I did a little video with the sand cloth bags, and I've seen it's gotten a lot of views so far. But I want to speak to you about it. Yesterday I was saying to my daughter when I picked her up from work, if I've sensed a shift in the weather. And because I was surprised when I heard about the storm in North Carolina, and I reached out to someone there because, we spend the feast of Shavuot there and May. And I was shocked because normally I know hurricanes to travel, they would come like from half Africa way and travel down through the Atlantic Ocean, I think, and come up to the Caribbean and then go on to America. For me, I think this is the first time I'm hearing about storms that actually form in America. It may have, but this is the first time. So I was saying to my daughter, I am noticing a shift in the weather, and then this storm that is like it's going straight to Florida. And to me, something that is interesting. That I find it very interesting, And there's been a shift. There's been a shift in many aspects of living. But I've noticed, and I want to speak specifically on the shift of the weather. And I want to read Proverbs 22:3. Which speaks about, let me read it. A prudent man foresees the evil and hides himself, but the simple pass on and are punished. And the word prudent there is crafty, shrewd, sensible, cunning, usually in a bad sense. Evil is something that is bad, and hide means to conceal by covering. And simple is perhaps open-minded, silly. And punish means to fine or inflict a penalty. So it's saying that a prudent man, a crafty, shrewd, sensible, or cunning, usually bad person, individual, would see evil coming and they would hide, cover, seek protection. They want to get out of the way of the evil that they see. But a simple person, open-minded, and today we have plenty open-minded people. That's the new age thing. They see things and think, oh, it ain't that bad, oh, da-da-da-da, and oh, y'all silly, or y'all overreacting and everything else. You understand me? But they experience they'll be punished, receive a fine, or they will experience some penalty for that, their actions, for their preparedness. In the Bahamas, we have been getting a lot of warning streams about flooding. I know specifically, I posted last year about a dream I had about water, plenty water covering the land. And when I woke up, I heard cleansing. And so I put on Facebook and I just simply said, I dreamt about water in the land. It's going to be cleansed, and we really need a cleansing. And what I've since seen on Facebook, a lot of persons who are talking about these dreams that they're having about a flood, water, a lot of water that's coming. And you remember Dorian. And a couple years ago, when my son brought home a video about it, and he was like, Mommy, I had already had dreams years before, but I just went out and I bought life jackets. I bought 3 life jackets for me and my children because we live on an island, and we have been experiencing a lot of flood on this little island called New Providence. The roads it's crazy. If I was not in a Jeep yesterday, I would not have been able to get to my office. And even when I saw the water, I didn't want to go through it. And when I went to pick up the bread, it was raining. And when I got to the bakery, the water in front of the bakery, I was like, I went the other way. But the Ruach told me go get the bread because the Spirit wanted me to get some supplies for the clients of Rakam Yah that we are taking care of. And he pressed upon me to go and get it because I had bread. I called my children and I did, they said we have bread. And but the Ruach kept pressing on me to go get that for her. So I went, and when I turned the other way, I was like, and the Ruach said to me, go, you're in a Jeep, go through the water. Because I was like, look, all that water. But if I was in my car, I would not have been able to pass through that. And so we've been getting a lot of warning about flooding, and we know that this New Providence is low-lying. And so it is sensible of us to prepare. When you hear certain things, and even on Facebook, when because I watched one, I think yesterday. I don't know if I watched all of it, but this young woman was talking about this dream that she had. You understand? And I've seen a few in the past, and I'm saying I've read the comment because when I see the videos, I normally go to the comment to see what the people are saying, and some was receptive and some was making mockery and laughing. But I'm saying when you hear, like the Bible said, when you see or you hear certain things, even if you don't believe it, I think common sense and prudence would say to you, but you know something? I've been hearing a lot of this. Let me just make some preparation. Right? But today, like I said, we have a lot of open-minded folk. And they're being critical and very negative about it. And they are the ones that will likely suffer loss, or they'll experience the penalty, because it's something like the ones that were in Noah time who made a mockery of it and laughed and jeered, and when the flood came they suffered. You know what I mean? So it's important that when you first to recognize the shift, something is happening in the weather pattern. We've been seeing that now for a while. You understand? But when you hear when you can hear over and over different people having the same dreams or visions, whatever you want to call it, I think something in you would say, okay, let me take note of this and let me just make some preparation. Right? So I got my best. In the thumbnail you would see the life vest, you would see my red boots, and you would see my pillowcase, my sandbags. I want to talk about sandbags. I don't remember what storm it was, living right here. Let me show you. This is my door. I'm sitting outside my door. See here? Water that settled here. Whenever it rained, water settled right here. And one time the water came up high. And I purchased sandbags because, when a hurricane, there's a lot of strong wind. And I put the water on the outside because of the sandbags that were in plastic on the outside. But the wind was hitting against my door. It felt like my door was going to bust open. And so I opened the door and I put the sandbags on the inside. But when the water came in, the sandbags there, the door was, held firm in place. But the water was just, and I had to, coming in, and I had to put out my towels. And I was like, these sandbags don't make no sense. That didn't make no sense at all. And I remember as a child, I saw sandbags in cloth material. So after that storm, I went out looking for the sandbags in the cloth, because listen, I have the Spirit of the Most High. I'm wise, and I know the Most High protects me and my two children. But that doesn't mean you should be silly. So I always like to be prepared. So I went out from then looking for cloth sandbags. And then speaking about this to my co-worker, and this has been a few years ago because I didn't move from that office just 2 years. So that had to have been like 4 years. because he moved since then. So I had them about 4 years. Those sandbags that you see there, except for 3, I would have had them from then. And he said to me in the office that day, when I was telling him about these plastic sandbags, who don't make no sense because they don't help with the water situation. And I told him I was looking for the sandbags in the cloth. I went driving around looking for those. And he said to me, so what about the pillowcase? What if we put it in the pillowcase? Because he agreed with me. And I said, that's a good idea. And I went and I got pillowcases, and I put the sand out of the plastic and into those sandbags. And I had them in containers. And the container broke, and it got full of water. And that's why you would see stains on the pillowcases. But when I took them out recently and preparing for the storm, this hurricane season, when I looked in, that sand is pure as if I just got it from the beach. And I was so amazed by that. And I said yesterday when I was putting my sand in the new pillowcase, I got 3 other pillowcases. I was like, well, actually I used my son's childhood pillowcases. He wanted to keep one. And I used the other 3 with the Power Ranger. And I was like, Father, one of the greatest gifts you've given to us is sand. When I look at the quality of that sand in those bags, even though the sand was in those bags for years, that sand was pure and good. And I was like, well, the pillowcases were wet because I had them outside and it's been having a lot of rain. And you could feel the dampness. But that sand is in there solid. And you could feel the dampness in the sand and whatever. And I was like, wow. You understand? So I want to encourage you, if you didn't see the short video, to be a prudent person. Go out and get your sand and put them in pillowcases. And Nassau's low lying. Right now the road opposite my house is flooded. This main road is flooded. We have an area here called Pinewood, and know about flooding. But if you get yourself some sandbags, some pillowcases, you put them outside the door. I suggest putting them on the inside because with the hurricane, the breeze, those sandbags are heavy. You put them to the door to hold your door in place, and as the water come in, it will absorb the water. That very good gift that the Most High gave us called sand is going to absorb the water. So I think that's a suggestion. I think it's a good suggestion. You may not think so, you do you. But to those who think it's a good suggestion, I would advise you to go out and get some sand and put them in the cloth bags. And in the event we experience any further flooding, your home would be secured. It should help. I'm sure it will help. I'm sure it will help. And so, the other thing you were seeing there is my red boot, which I got because of where I work. As a child, I do not like walking in rain, like, some rain puddles, the water on the ground. I didn't like feeling that. Like I'm driving, I see people walking about the street and in slippers after the rain or during the rain, and you wouldn't catch me. I would have to try and put on a pair of tennis or something. I just didn't like the feel of the water on my feet. And so when I went to work out to Rail AIP, and when it rained, the water settles right in the parking lot. It's difficult to get to your car. But I love boots. So I got when I got home, put my boots in my vehicle. But then I saw my baby niece in some rain boots. I said, oh, cute, that's a good idea. So I ordered my rain boots. And so now whenever it rains, I have my rain boots. And yesterday it was so convenient to have those going out in that weather. And the puddles, because even when I got out of my vehicle to go to the bakery, I had to walk in that water. And that was a lot of water. But because I had on the high rain boots, my feet were dry, didn't get wet or anything. And so there's certain things I believe is essential for us to get when we are living in certain environments. You understand? And we experience certain natural disasters. And one of them here in New Providence is flooding. So get yourself some rain boots. Get yourself some rain boots. Get yourself some life vests. Get yourself some sandbags in the cloth. And automatically for storm, you would have your hurricane. You're going to have your food supply. When I got my water, I got cases of the bottled water and stuff. You know, there are certain things I keep on hand. I ordered my little radio. I ordered a, what do you call it? Solar radio. And I ordered some solar little fans. In fact, let me go and I already charged them, but I could see if they need more charging. But there's certain things that we need to have in place. You do not wait for the moment. You know, when you hear the news forecast, even if it doesn't happen, you should still just have it on hand just in case. And I think one of the things we should have on this island is life vest. I mean, everyone remember, I think they said Dorian would have happened. This is the 5th year, and so many lives were lost. I was listening to one of the YouTube videos, and the sister was saying how she lived in the U.S. and she was, you know, lamenting because she didn't realize the storm was that bad in North Carolina. And she was saying, and one, she named the name of the place, like over 600 persons were missing. And she spoke of someone who was from that assembly who went up there, and the stories he was hearing from, you know, it is disturbing. And she was saying how the person said that one man said when he was on his roof and he turned around, he saw bodies floating past him, you know. And we know right in the Bahamas with Dorian, thousands of people went missing. Thousands of people. And it's really, let me look for this word. Simple, silly of us to live on an island and not have life vests. Every home should have life vests in it. You understand me? Especially now we're noticing more and more flooding situations. We should have life vests. This is such a beautiful day. We should have life vests. So I want to encourage you, go out and get your life vest, right? For your household. So in the event you would have them there, it could save a life. You understand? Yes, you trust in the Most High, but y'all expect us to prepare and to be ready. Something is going to happen. I believe something is going to happen in terms of flooding. And so I would strongly admonish you to prepare yourself. This day feels just like when Andrew came in 1992. And then eventually, as time went past, you notice it was still very shiny and you know, the breeze was light, and then the little sprites of rain came, you know, and that's how it started, because hurricane passed, that storm, Andrew passed in the night. You know, it started in the evening, but it went on through the night. So I want to encourage you to prepare. I want to encourage you to prepare. Do not be like the 5 foolish. Don't be like the open-minded people who would hear of certain things and just think nothing of it. Take it very lightly and don't do anything. This is Florida. The storm is going to Florida, but we're in the Bahamas. And we know about hurricane. You know, the northern islands, Bimini, Exuma, and Bimini, Exuma, and Abaco. Those northern islands are normally the islands that experience a lot of, they get hit very hard by the storm. And so tropical warning is in place for those islands. And of course, Bimini is like right on the tip of Florida, along with Freeport, Grand Bahama. So, but Nassau, we normally get a lot of the rain and the floods. So I want to encourage you. I want to encourage you to get your supplies and to be physically ready. And I want to say to you, spiritually ready too, as always. Take note of what's happening. Take note of the change, the shift in the weather. It's a sign of things that are coming. You know, I don't think you should take it lightly. And so, just how you would be prepared physically and prepare yourself spiritually. Know that you're in right standing with the Most High. Be discerning, but also be spiritually prepared. A lot of things happen, and people would, it is so sad, but it's like they don't take it serious. They don't take it serious, and no matter how many tragedy comes, people continue to live their life. They have a justification for it, and they just carry on as if it's nothing. You understand? But I want to encourage you to get your spiritual life in order, your spiritual house in order. Make sure that you are walking upright before the Most High. Make sure that you are walking according to His laws, His statutes, and His commandments. You understand? Make sure that you are not like the people in Noah time, who heard Noah sending out the warning and made a mockery of it and laugh and scorn at Noah. But when the flood really came, they were washed away. Right? Make sure that you're ready. Make sure you take it serious. Even if you don't think nothing much of the persons who are the young people, young women on the Facebook who are calling for you to repent, take heed. You understand me? Take heed. Repent. Turn your ways and change your ways and your doings. Be discerning of the time. You understand? There is a lot of changes that are taking place worldwide. You understand? The Bible tells us in Matthew, Yeshua said you'll hear about wars and rumors of wars. You understand me? Once when he was talking to his disciples, he said when you look up at the sky, you can tell when the change in the atmosphere. You know that something has happened. You can tell that something is about to come. Well, it's the same thing now. It is the same thing now. You can look at the weather patterns and you can say, look, something is about to happen. Something is on the horizon. And so you want to be spiritually prepared. You want to be spiritually prepared. I believe, and I was in a conversation with a lady when I was in BPL recently. And she said that she was in a prayer meeting and I said to her that I believe it's going to be sudden. That's what the Father had spoken to me, and I put it on Facebook, and I think I made mention of it here. And she said to me that she was in prayer meeting that week, and that was the word too, suddenly. You understand? Suddenly. Be prepared, because you don't know when it's going to come or what's going to happen, how it's going to come, but you want to be prepared. You understand me? I did a video here a year or so ago that sudden death. You know, we have been taught by religion that you can repent on your bed, make it right on your bed. But these events that are coming suddenly, you may not have an opportunity. And like I said in the short, nobody wants to be judged. But I encourage you to judge yourself. Look at your actions. Look at who you are. and look at what you have heard of the Most High being set apart. You say holy, and see if a holy God is happy with you and how you live. He is the judge. It is his law. You understand me? So he is the one that's gonna ultimately judge you based on the law that he gave. So you judge yourself now. Don't wait until that time. I see a lot of people have on their phone and different places. No, only God can judge me. Yes. And when he judges, that's final. And it may be swift and sudden and final. So you don't want to wait until then. You don't want to wait until then. And speaking of this, last night when I went to take the stuff that I got from the lady who's a client of Rakamia Foundation, we were driving home. It was after 9, almost 10, or about 10 o'clock. And a vehicle stopped in the front of me, and one was in the front of them. And I was like, why did they stop? And so when the vehicles moved, I was able to see why. Standing on the street corner, dressed in these little tight like pants, jean pants right up in their crotch. 3 young women. When I say young women. And I was like, what? And all of this weather, you think these young women out here selling themselves on the street corner like that? Because this is the second time I was driving somewhere else and I saw like 3 of them in the dark, like standing on the street corner, and they wearing these pants up in their crotch and stuff. And I was like, you think? And all of this weather? And that was so disturbing to me. Because we had left, the children wanted to get some Popeyes. And they have a help wanted that sign up. And I'm like, you can get a job where you stand on your feet and it doesn't cause you to lose your integrity than to be standing on the street corner selling your body, doing when you should be home preparing for a possible storm. But this is the minds of our people. This is where we are. And it's really, really sad. It's really sad that, like I was saying, it doesn't seem to matter what happened. Some people are just bent on living and doing what they want to do. Bent on doing what they want to do. And that's very, very, that's telling of you as an individual, but it's your telling of your heart, where your heart is. You know? Your heart is hard. Your conscience snared. And just want to do what you want to do, and then you feel as if at the end of the day you should be given an opportunity to make it right. And that's for the Most High to decide. But I want to say to you, I wouldn't take that risk. I wouldn't take that chance. I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. You know, I could not do it, but people are doing it. Before I close, I want to read to you from Isaiah 43. When you pass through the waters, I will be with you, and through the rivers, they shall not overflow you. When you walk through the fire, you shall not be burned, neither shall the flame kindle upon you. And this is Yah speaking unto Yaakov and to Yashmael. And so I want to encourage you. I want to encourage you to trust in Yah in all things. And being prepared doesn't mean that you're not trusting in Yah. Being prepared means that you're wise. You understand me? That you're wise and you are obedient and you have respect for the Most High, who encourages us to prepare and to be ready. When you don't take the warnings, you understand me? It says that you are that you have no fear of Yah. That's what it really says. You have no fear of Yah. You understand? The Most High always sends warnings before judgment. And if you don't take the warning, it says that you have no fear of Yah. no fear of him. You understand? And so when your calamity comes upon you, then the Most High would have warned you. You would have made a choice not to listen, not to heed the warnings, and to make change and to prepare, make a change, and that's naturally and spiritually. And so I want to encourage you to prepare naturally and spiritually, not to take what you've been hearing and seeing lightly. Don't take it lightly. There's been a shift. There's been a shift. There's been a shift. And I believe what will happen and what's happening is going to happen. It's happening. It's going to happen quickly. Happening quickly. Quickly. You know, I've been saying it for a bit. As time goes on, the years pass, we are going to see a lot of natural disasters and stuff as the earth begins to continue to mourn and travail for the sons and daughters of Yah. And we are rising, we are awakening. And I think with every catastrophe, with every situation, it brings us, it causes our consciousness and awakening us to see that we have to get ourselves in order, to get ourselves right, to come out of the system and to be completely separated and set apart. That's what the Most High expects of us. So I want to encourage you, I want to encourage you to prepare, to be wise. You understand me? To be wise and to prepare. This is my beautiful fever grass tree. This, what you've been looking at. This is a fever grass tree, another very nice bush medicine, good for tea, and tastes very good. Yeah, so and be encouraged and prepare, trust in Yah first and foremost. Trust in Yah. Do not walk in fear, you walk in faith. And once you are prepared, that shows the Most High that you take him seriously. And I would admonish you to take Yah seriously. It is a dreadful thing to fall into the hands of an angry Elohim. You don't want to do that. So, blessings to you, and may the Father protect and watch over you and your family. Love you. Shalom, shalom.